He's like here last night. He shot him up.
Really? I know I haven't seen him in a long time. He wandered in and sat right here and started drooling. And Trav got him some water. He was like, either passing out, say, man, you either off some meds or off something, or you off something, or you got some meds or something. But it's going to keep then he poured it on his head.
You needed something?
The doctor was out of here.
I could just say he's glad you wasn't here.
Let's go ahead and pray.
I know what's wrong with you.
Whoa.
BJ, don't sit up here, man. Don't sit up here. Sit right there on that corner. Right there. Put the phone down. It's time to pray, bro.
All minds clear? All minds clear? Deuteronomy or Devarim, chapter 6, at verse 4. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. Exodus, Shemot, chapter 20, and verse 3. We will have no other mighty ones against the Most High. We will not make any carved image or any likeness of that which is in Shamayim above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. We will not bow down to them, nor serve them. For Yahuwah is a jealous ill, visiting the wicked of the fathers on the children, to the third and fourth generations of those that hate him, but showing kindness to thousands of those who love him and keep his commandments. We will not bring the name of Yahuwah in vain. For Yahuwah will not leave us unpunished. Who brings his name in vain. We will remember the Shabbat day. To keep it Kodesh. 6 days we will labor. Do all our work. But the seventh day is the Shabbat. Yahuwah. For in 6 days, Yahuwah made Shamayim and the earth and the sea and all that is in them. And rested the seventh day. Therefore Yahuwah will rock the Shabbat day. We will respect our father and our mother, so that our days are long on the earth. We will not murder. We will not commit adultery. We will not steal. We will not bear false witness against our neighbor. We will not covet anything that is our neighbor.
Father, Yah, we come before you right now. Thank you for this set apart day, Father, a day to gather together for your name's sake, Father, to give you the honor and the esteem, Father, to be obedient unto your word, Father. We pray that you would charge us by the words of our mouth, Father, to be obedient, to keep and guard and protect your commandments, Father, that you would continue, Father, to be with us, Father, even as we speak right now, standing on one accord, Father, asking that you would open up the hearts and the mind of your people to receive your word according to your Ruach, Father. Allow your Ruach, Father, to give understanding unto the hearer and utterance unto the speaker, Father, so that we all may be doers and that we will receive your word, Father, unimpeded and uninhibited, Father, that no obstacle set up, Father, would restrict your word from being received and allow understanding to be gained from it, Father, impart wisdom and understanding upon each and every one of us. All these things we pray and we give thanks. Hashem Yehuwah, Rabbeinu, Hoshua, Mashiach, Ruach HaKodesh, so be it.
So be it.
$45 minutes. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
How is everybody? Wonderful. That's good to hear. For everybody that's tuned in or that's going to tune in and watch this lesson, sorry for the late start. We had a brother wandering off the street with his heat. We had to get him some medical attention. Brother Eric, this your first time? Second time? Okay. So you went through the whole spiel, the whole introducing yourself and all that?
I didn't do it.
No. Okay, well, if you wouldn't mind, Brother Eric, standing up and introducing yourself so that we all can be properly acquainted as family, if you would not mind.
Name's Eric. What do you want to know?
What's your sign? No, I'm just playing. No, just how who invited you out? How long you been dealing with the spiritual? Just basic info.
May 24th, I received a video online from one of my partners at work.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, it's from brother Russia.
Okay.
And it's dealing with conspiracy and us.
Okay.
And I was like, everything just clicked.
Okay.
I'm like, and I knew Val. She was
Val, yeah.
Val. Brother friend with Val.
Okay.
Yeah, she had to try to get him to come. I was like, I was telling him about the video. He called her, and she invited me. Okay.
Sounds good to me. Shout out to Sister Val and Brother Cedric. Appreciate it. Brother Eric, you are amongst family. Feel free to come and fellowship with us anytime. Feel free to come and fellowship with us all the time. So if you have any questions, we appreciate if you would hold in any questions or comments to the end and then to be addressed. No matter your question, it don't matter. So I already introduced myself, but I'm B. Everybody call me B. Feel free to call me B. This is Brother Trav. This is Brother Cole, and we are the teachers of this particular assembly. We don't adhere to any type of titles around here. We're just brothers, man. We work together, we enjoy together, every day we do it all together. So, like I said, feel free, man, and hopefully we can continue to grow in understanding as we grow in this walk with the Most High, man. So, glad you was able to make it out. So, I'm actually very happy to see y'all. Seems like it's been forever since I've been here. It's been like about 2 or 3 weeks, and I was here on what was that, Wednesday? Yeah. With a few of the brothers. We all met up on Wednesday to discuss the gathering, the Hebrew gathering. Just to let you know, we'll be August 18th through the 20th. But so we were discussing some different things of what we're gonna do for the gathering this year, and it felt like I hadn't seen everybody. I've been here in a while, so I'm happy to see y'all. I hope y'all happy to see me. I got a little bit of lesson a little bit of a lesson, maybe about 15, 20 minutes. What's that look, man? No, I got something nice for you.
Hot and ready.
And I was, my for those of y'all who didn't know, last week I wasn't here because my stepmom passed away, and her funeral was last week, and just sitting in the funeral. Of course, you got to deal with all the regular Christian montage of, and different what they call them cliches, right? But the message that God brought was more so about who she was as a person, and it was like really, it kind of opened my eyes to some things, because the message, like this is his exact words. He was like, "It feels good to get up here and talk about somebody, and I ain't gotta lie." He was like, "I ain't gotta talk more about Jesus than about the person, because you get people up here who ain't did nothing." And so I thought about it. I'm like, man, it kind of, I don't say hit home, but it kind of made me open my eyes, because a lot of times, even being in this walk and understanding that we Israel, we get very complacent and very laid back and very distant when it comes to doing the actual work of the Most High. You know what I mean? It's not the show that it was when we was in the church, where you got the preacher up there screaming, and this dude in particular was doing his hoop. He had his hoop going, and BJ, he said, "Dad, what's wrong with it?" I said, "That's what they call that hooping," But so it's not about the show, but sometimes we get complacent. We get so wrapped up in the understanding and the knowledge and the depth of the lessons that come forward. That's what we focus on, and that's what we kind of expect from a week-to-week basis. But really, sometimes you got to get back to the basics and deal with the Most High from a very basic standpoint of, once we understand that, these laws, we're supposed to keep them. The whole thing that the Most High called us to do as Israel is what? Keep the law, 100%. And we're going to deal with that from the scriptures. But what did he call us to do? What you got? Be a light to the Gentiles. That's one thing. But it's one word in particular that sum up the whole total of what the Most High wants from us. Service. Serve. He wants us to serve him. And all of these things, belief, righteousness, keeping the law, all of these things are all summed up with the fact that that he called us to serve him. Teaching the Gentiles, being the light, of course, absolutely. But it's all wrapped up in the service that we're supposed to do. And getting out there today, this morning, and feeding the homeless and that kind of thing, that's supposed to be a regular thing. You know what I mean? That we're supposed to do consistently. And I know sometimes we get wrapped up, we got things going on. I totally understand that. But this is not a lesson to point fingers. Of course, y'all know I ain't about to do that. But it's all about looking at yourself, right? The scriptures say, let every man do what? Examine himself. So we gotta do that as a congregation, as a just on a personal level, on a daily basis. We gotta look in the mirror and examine ourselves. And examine ourselves and make sure that that we actually doing what it is that we supposed to do on a daily basis, along with keeping the law. So I done talked long enough. Let's get to these scriptures. I know y'all want to hear me anyway. I want to hear what thus saith the Most High, right? So first off, y'all know I got to give y'all a little bit of Hebrew. So from the word, the Strong's number H5647, a bag. It means to work or to serve. So we got a prophet with this in his name. Anybody know? a bad. Anybody know what book we got? Obadiah. Yeah, exactly. Obadiah or Obadiah. It means servant of Yah, right? So I just want to throw that in there. Obadiah is not a part of this lesson. His name will only be mentioned at this one point in time. So I just wanted to throw that out there for y'all know. But so let me ask y'all a question. Everybody in the room, what is your purpose? But what is your purpose? What service? What is your particular purpose? Not our purpose as a whole, but what is your purpose individually? Understanding that the Most High have called us all out of darkness, right? Thank you. Called us all out of darkness, right? Yeah, did he call y'all? He called me. I got the call. But what did he call you to do? Do y'all ever think about that?
Yeah, I just talked about that. That is my call to serve. I was telling my niece and her mother-in-law last week that is what my call is. I was telling them that I wanted to get back out there and feed the homeless. And they encouraged me to start it back up when we help me. So that's why we started this week. That needs just a little help.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. It's beautiful that we have people that's willing to contribute. It's beautiful that you know and understand what your purpose is, because as you can see, there's a lot of us in this room who may not know what our purpose is. Our particular purpose, not our purpose in, collectively, but as individuals. What part of the body are you? What are you here for? What are we here for? Right? So let's start at Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Everybody knows this scripture, I'm sure. But we're gonna hit. I got a couple. I think I might have like one or two nuggets that I might get a ooh or an eye on. Maybe one or two, maybe. But Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us one moment.
Looks like we got it right. Yes, yeah, I see it. Yep. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Elohim and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
So fear the Most High and keep his commandments. This is the whole duty of man. And this is how it reads in Ecclesiastes. Keep reading.
For Elohim shall bring every work into judgment.
Every what?
Every work into judgment. With every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So from reading this, and you see, fear the Most High and keep the commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It reads to the point that you feel like that this is all I'm required to do. This is all I need to do, and I'm good, right? So, of course, y'all know my feelings about the King James Version Bible. So reading this same passage of scripture from the Hallelujah, because that is a complete mistranslation. The word duty does not appear there. But it says, let us hear the conclusion of the entire matter. Revere or fear Elohim and guard his commandments, for this is to all mankind. It's a little bit of a difference there. Revere Elohim and guard his commandments, for this is to all mankind. Not just Israel, but this is to all mankind. The word actually there is Adam, but it's a difference. So when you read it in one portion, it say this is your duty, like this is what you're required to do. This is your calling, like this is what you purpose for. This is just, but nah, that's a minimum requirement. You know what I'm saying? So you know, like when you see a job description and it says and you want to know if you're qualified to get a job, and it'll tell you that the minimum requirements is that you have a high school diploma, or the minimum requirements is that you have 1 or 2 years experience. So this is the minimum requirement is keeping the law, but this is to all mankind. There is a purpose and a call for all of us in the duty of service. So we're gonna see this. We're gonna go through it. Let's grab Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. First, I got to give y'all a little bit of backdrop. I know I'm gonna wind up cutting this short because it's long. Devarim chapter 10 and verse 12.
Devarim chapter 10 and verse 12. And now, Israel, what do Yahuwah, your Elohim, require of you?
What is he what?
What do Yahuwah, your Elohim, require of you?
So what are the minimum requirements for the children of Israel? Read.
But to fear Yahuwah, your Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart and with all your soul, to keep the commandments of Yahuwah and his statutes, which I command you this day, for your good.
Okay, that's good. So we understand there in verse 12, he's giving you his requirements, right? And there's more there than just what we read in Ecclesiastes. It's more than just fear the Most High and keep the commandments, right? When you read verse 12, it says, but to fear the Most High, walk in all his ways, to love him, and to serve Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul. So when you're talking about your soul, that's your entire being, right? It's not your heart, it's not your ruach, it's everything. Your soul. This is says that and when the Most High breathed the breath of life into Adam's nostrils, he became what? A living soul, right? That means that his movement in his body, that living soul, that was a part of the soul. So when you serve the Most High with all your heart and with all your soul, it requires you to do a little bit of moving around. It ain't just you to just sit on your behind. I'm going to Sabbath every week, I'm good. Like, no, you got to do more. It requires more. Let's go to Let's go to 1 Samuel 12 and 24. First Samuel chapter 12, verse 24.
1 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 24. Only fear Yahuwah and serve him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things he hath done for you.
So we're going even further in depth. Only fear the Most High, right? And serve him in truth with all your heart. Same thing, but it's a little bit more there. For consider the great things that he has done for you. So your service, in order to call it to mind, is saying, consider the things he has done to you, so done for you. So up until this point, we're talking about the children of Israel have come out of Egypt. They've been through the wilderness. They've been set up in the land for some odd years when Samuel came on the scene. Let's go to Exodus chapter 4.
Shemot
23.
Exodus chapter 4 and verse 23. And I say unto you, let my son go, that he may serve me.
That he may do what?
Serve me.
What son is he talking about?
Israel.
Let my son go that he may do what?
Serve me.
Uh-huh.
And if you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son.
So we remember how this all panned out, right? All right, let's see. Let me show y'all a quick example of something. Let's go to Numbers 18:7.
Numbers chapter 18 at verse 7. Therefore, you and your sons with you shall keep your priest's office for everything of the altar.
Okay, who is he talking to here? Whose sons kept? Aaron, right? Keep going.
For everything of the altar and within the veil. And you shall serve.
And you shall do what?
And you shall serve. I have given you priests office unto you as a service of gift.
As a what?
As a service of gift.
Okay.
And the stranger that cometh near shall be put to death.
Okay. So what we got to understand is Aaron, son of Israel, a son of Levi, already one of the children of Israel, right? It's not like he was an outsider. Like we understood that he kept the law. He obeyed the Most High. He was given service right here, right? He was given a service. His service, his duty was to serve the Most High in the capacity of the high priest. And his sons after him as the priest and the high priest. That was their duty. That was their service. Not just all the Levites was priests, but the sons of Aaron in particular, high priests and priests, right? So let's grab Exodus chapter 4. Because I want to show y'all something, because this is Numbers. This is something that took place. This is chronological. So it's Exodus chapter 4 at verse 10 happened beforehand. So we understand at this part, at this particular time, Moshe was in the wilderness. He saw the burning bush and he's speaking to the Most High. And the Most High telling him, it's time for you to go back to Egypt and it's time for me to get my people up out of there. And this is Moses was making excuses, right? He didn't want to go. Verse 10.
And Moshe said unto Yahuwah, O my master, I am not eloquent, neither herefore, nor since you have spoken unto your servant, but I am of slow speech and of a slow tongue. And Yahuwah said unto him, who hath made man's mouth? Or who hath made the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I, Yahuwah? Now therefore go, I will be with your mouth, and teach you what you shall say. And he said, O my master, send, I pray you, by the hand of him whom you will send.
Stop. So, the Most High life, go, I got you. No matter how bad you know, we done been through this before. No matter how bad you think you can't talk, I got you. I'm going to be your mouth. I'm going to tell you what to say. And Moses like, please, I really just don't want to do it. And the Most High is getting ticked off. So finally, the Most High did something right here. Verse 14. Let's see what he did.
Verse 14. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Moshe. And he said, is not Aaron the Levite your brother? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he come forth to meet you. And when he see you, he will be glad in his heart.
So before Aaron even got word, the Most High purposed him right here. He said, all right, I'm tired of going back and forth with you, Moses. What about Aaron? He can talk good, right? Ain't got your brother? He coming right now. Verse 27.
Verse 27. And Yahuwah said unto Aharon.
So we see the Most High don't speak to Aaron until he done already set his purpose up for him, right? He had already told him, go ahead, Aaron gonna be your mouthpiece. But Aaron ain't even know yet. Go ahead.
And Yahuwah said to Aharon, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of Elohim and kissed him.
So when he told him to go to the wilderness to meet Moses, Moses was already on his way to Egypt. At this point, Moses was still in Midian. He was still in Midian. So when finally he left and he was on his way to Egypt, and you can read through those verses in between, but Aaron hadn't even got word yet. Aaron didn't get word till Moses was already almost there. So the purpose the Most High set up for Aaron was done well before he even knew what it was. So you got to understand that the Most High have already given you a calling. You already have a purpose. It's already set up for you. He done already told you what it is. But it's going to take a little bit of moving around on your part to get to perform that service. You're going to have to get up out your seat. You're going to have to get out your comfort zone for some of y'all. Some of y'all think y'all can't talk good. Some of y'all think y'all ain't good enough. But guess what? The Most High have purposed you already. And regardless of what you think about yourself, he think a certain type of way about you. And you have to just understand that he already purposed you for it and do it. Right? Aaron didn't question the Most High like Moses did. Look, Moses coming, go. All right, yeah, I got you. I'm on the way. And when he seen him, he was delighted to see him because he knew that this was my brother. Let's grab Genesis chapter 15 and verse 2. Because we're going to go through a whole passage of text. Because I want to pull some points out about this one person, this one insignificant to most, but very significant person out of the text that y'all probably ain't even up on. So we're gonna read a little bit about him, and I want to use his life or this particular portion of his life as an example of service.
Bereshit, chapter 15, at verse 2. And Abram said, Yahuwah Elohim, what will you give me, saying I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus?
That's good right there. So, around this time, the Most High came to Abram. He said, Abram, get up out your father's house and go to where a land, or I'm going to tell you where to go. And Abram's like, well, what you going to give me? I don't even have an heir. All I have is Eleazar, my steward. He was his servant. All I got is Eleazar, and he over everything. He over my whole house. I don't have a son. I don't have nobody to lead this stuff to. Just a little backdrop on who this guy was, because in the next, let's go Genesis 24. In Genesis 24, he don't even mention his name.
Bereshit, chapter 24,
Verse 1.
verse 1.
We're going to read probably this whole chapter. So put your bookmark here, keep your finger there, and whatever you need to do. We're going to read a lot out of Genesis 24.
And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and Yahuwah had increased Abraham in all things.
So, I want y'all to pay attention. Hey, son, is that there? Turn that down. I want y'all to pay attention to something, because there's going to be so many parallels in this thing. I want you to you're going to take a glimpse, and you're going to see the Most High, you're going to see Hamashiach, you're going to see yourself. You should, throughout this whole passage of scripture. And we're going to break it down bit by bit and piece by piece. Verse 1 again.
And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and Yahuwah had increased Abraham in all things.
And Yahuwah had did what?
Increased Abraham in all things.
Who else did the Most High increase in all things? All power is given into my, right? Okay. I just want to make sure y'all with me. Make sure y'all don't see this. Keep going.
And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house.
This is Eleazar. Go ahead.
That ruled over all that he had.
That did what?
That ruled over all that he had.
So now, you see the parallel between Abram being who? And he said unto his eldest servant, who did what? Ruled over all he had. Go ahead.
Put, I pray you, your hand under my thigh, and I will make you swear by Yahuwah your Elohim of Shamaim, and the Elohim of earth, that you shall take a wife unto my son.
You read that again.
Oh, wait.
That you shall.
Hold on. And I will make you swear by Yahuwah your Elohim of Shamaim, and the Elohim of the earth, that you shall not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. But you shall go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac.
Okay, that's good. So, he charged Eleazar, I want you to find a son for my wife. Find a wife for my son. Find a wife for my son, right? So, in order for him to ask Eleazar to do such a thing, what type of person did he have to be? Is that? He had to be dependable, right? Trustworthy, obedient, right? Let's grab Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 at verse 19. I call Shamaim and the earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursings. Therefore choose life, that both you and your seed may live, that you may love Yahuwah your Elohim, and that you may obey his voice, and that you may cleave unto him, for he is your life and the length of your days.
Let's do it right here. So we got to understand that Abram charged Eleazar, find a wife for my son. So it's a couple different principles here. Eleazar had to be somebody that the Most High could trust. I mean, that Abram could trust. And he also had to be obedient. But he had a choice. Same thing that the Most High gave us, right? He gave us a charge. Choose life. But he gave us a choice. We could have said, nah, you know what, I'm good. I think I'm good with that. I'm just going to party it up and do my thing. But nah, he said, I lay before you life and death, but choose life. So the same thing, we're going to see these parallels all through this story with Abram and Eleazar. He gave him a charge. Look, I done gave you everything. I need you to do this for me. Right? Let's grab Matthew 28, verse 18.
Matthew chapter 28,
Verse 18.
verse 18.
We are familiar with this.
Mashiach came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in Shamaim and in earth. Go therefore and teach all nations.
Do what?
Go therefore and teach all nations.
So the Most High, who had increased Abram in all things, right? And he charged his servant, go and do this. Mashiach, who the Most High increased in all things, right? He charged his servants, go and do X, right? You see the parallels up in this? So the same charge that's given by the master, because Abram was his master. Mashiach is our master, our leader, our teacher, all of these things. He charged me, but these 12 that he charged, the same thing. They had to have these same qualities: trustworthy, obedient, somebody that he knew they could be counted on when it came time to get down, right? Let's go back to Genesis 24. Verse 5.
Genesis or Bereshit, chapter 24 and verse 5. Then the servant said unto him, perhaps the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I need bring your son again unto the land from whence you came? And Abraham said unto him, beware you, that you bring not my son there again. Yahuwah Elohim of Shamaim, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me, that swore unto me, saying, unto your seed will I give this land. He shall send his Malachim before you, and you shall take a wife unto my son from this. And if the woman will not be willing to follow you, then you shall be clear from this my oath. Only bring not my son there again.
So, I didn't even see this at first. But, matter of fact, just keep going, keep reading.
Verse 9. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham and his master, and sware to him concerning the matter. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master and departed. For all the goods of his master were in his hand.
For what?
For all the goods of his master were in his hand.
So he had put all his power, all Abraham had, he put in his hand. Say all the goods of his master was in his hand, right? Go ahead.
And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, unto the city of Nahor. And he made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water at the time of the evening, even the time that women go out to draw water. And he said, O Yahuwah Elohim of my master Abraham, I pray you, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham.
So when he first went out on the charge that he had got from his master, the first thing he did was what? We just read it again for the people in the back who ain't hear you.
And he said, verse 11, and he made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water at the time of evening.
Verse 12.
And he said, O Yahuwah of my master Abraham, I pray you.
I do what?
I pray you.
So the first thing he did when he got there was what?
Pray.
Go ahead.
Send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham.
You going?
Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down your pitcher, I pray you, that I may drink. And she gives, say, drink. And I will give your camels drink also. Let the same be she that you have appointed for your servant Isaac. And thereby shall I know that you have showed kindness unto my master.
So, first thing he did when he got there was pray. But he didn't just pray. He prayed a very specific prayer. First, understand where he was. He went for a purpose. His purpose was to do what? Find a wife for Isaac, right? So where did he have to go? He had to go where the women was at. I'm going to go sit by the well because I know that this is where the women come to get water in the evening. He knew when to go and he knew where to go, right? So when he got there, he prayed a very specific prayer. He prayed to the Most High of his master, the God of my master. If it be your will, I need this, and I need a woman, but not just any woman. This is the kind of woman I need. When I say I need something to drink, I need her to offer me some water, and not just me, but me and my camels. Then I'm going to know that that's the woman right there. Very specific prayer. And this is not a husband-wife kind of message, even though it applies. But the thing is, it was very specific. So, understanding that you have a charge by the Most High to do something in particular, and you feel the calling, and you understand what your purpose is, and you set out on that purpose, and you go where you need to be at the time that you need to be there, the first thing you need to do is pray. And you ask the Most High something very specific. This is what I need. I need you to provide it for me. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. This is the type of person I want. So, when the woman came by with a picture and said, hey, you look kind of thirsty. You need something to drink? And he was like, dang, she kind of fine. Isaac would like her, but she ain't offer the camels nothing. Let me take her with me. So she looked real good. No, he said, I need a person that's going to offer me something to drink. And that means don't settle for what you think you know, he might do what you ask for. Hold out for what you ask, because you ask the Most High knows. So let's grab 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Just to put the emphasis on this prayer. And understanding that these are all qualities of what makes good and faithful servant.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 17. Pray without ceasing.
Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Do that mean pray all the time? No. Do that mean every word that come out of your mouth got to be a prayer? No. It means pray without ceasing. That means don't stop praying. When you pray, the things you pray, don't stop. Just because you're feeling a little down, or you ain't getting what you're supposed to get, that means don't stop praying. Pray without ceasing. Acts chapter 6 and verse 4. Pray without stopping, without hindrance to your prayers, no matter what happened, no matter what things look like, no matter what the outcome might be. Like, dang, I've been sitting out here waiting for a woman all night, and ain't one came out here yet. They was going to offer me and my camel some water, but it don't matter. You going to hold fast to the prayer and keep the prayer. Pray without ceasing, period. It's very simple. A very simple principle that we all need to put. We need to keep it right here, because sometimes we just go with, throughout our daily life, and we do everything without seeking the Most High on it first. And that's when we run into a lot of our problems and a lot of our issues, because we don't deal with the Most High when it comes to our movements, right? Acts chapter 6 and verse 4.
Acts chapter 6 and verse 4. But we will give ourselves continually.
Wait, we will give ourselves how often?
Continually.
Continually. To what?
To prayer.
So when you watch your favorite show, right? Well, not anymore, but back in the day, we used to watch your favorite show. I used to be watching G.I. Joe, right, when I was a kid, and it'd get real good. As soon as it get real good, the show go off. But it'll say what? To be continued. Like, dang, I can't wait till next week. But that means that the show is going to continue to go on. So this says that you give yourself continually to prayer. Right back to pray without ceasing. That's what pray without ceasing means. Continually. That means when things are going on and you might forget about, oh, I need to seek the Most High on this, but give yourself continually to prayer, right? Especially when stuff going good. Because that's when we get our most complacent. When something is going good and you think, oh, I'm good. I don't really even need the Most High right now. Everything is all good. And then that's when you hit a wall. Right? James 5 and 16.
James chapter 5 and verse 16. Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another.
And do what?
And pray one for another.
Uh-huh.
That you may be healed.
Okay, so healing comes through what? Everybody. Not everybody at once. Healing comes through what? And pray for one another that you may be healed. Read.
The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man avail much.
So that's another principle right there. This ain't just a run-of-the-mill prayer. Everybody's prayer ain't healing in everybody's prayer. It's healing in the righteous man's prayer. The effectual, fervent prayer, something that you mean, something that you sincere about. Fervent, effectual. It's meaningful to you, and you're righteous. That's healing in that prayer. Now, if you're just a joker, that whatever, you ain't dealing with the Most High, he ain't dealing with you. He already tell you, Proverbs 28 and 9 tell you, 28 and 9? Yep. 28 and 9 tell you what your prayers are, an abomination, right? All right. 1 Samuel 12 and 19. Matter of fact, no, we skip over that. 1 Samuel 12 and 23. No, 12 and 19. You're right. 12 and 19. 1 Samuel 12 and 19.
1 Samuel chapter 12 at verse 19. And all the people said unto Samuel, pray for your servants unto Yahuwah your Elohim, that we die not. For we have added unto all our sins this evil, to ask us a king.
So, the people came to Samuel and they wanted a king. At this point, there was no king in Israel. They came to Samuel and they wanted the king. And they knew that they had did something wrong at this point. And they asked Samuel to pray for us for all this evil that we did. Verse 23.
Verse 23.
And this is Samuel's response.
Moreover, as for me, Elohim forbid that I should sin against Yahuwah in ceasing to pray for you.
Oh, my goodness. Read that again. Read that again.
Moreover, as for me, Elohim forbid that I should sin against Yahuwah in ceasing.
That I should sin against Yahuwah. How? How is he going to sin and doing what?
In ceasing to pray for you. But I will teach you the good and the right way.
The good and the right way. So at this point, the prophet was like, it would be sin for me to stop praying for you. Let's let that marinate. Genesis 24 and verse 15. Let's continue on. Verse 15.
Verse 15. Genesis or Bereshit chapter 24, verse 15.
So we at this point, Eleazar just prayed to the Most High. I need a woman, but not just any kind of woman. I need this particular kind of woman that's going with these qualities. Notice he ain't say she have to have pretty hair or big lips or wide hips or nothing like that. He prayed for qualities, right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass before he had done speaking.
When?
Before he had done speaking.
So even before he was finished praying, what happened?
That behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulders.
So she came out and she got her pitcher on her shoulders. Big old water pot, right? Go ahead.
And the woman was very fine, very fair to look upon. A virgin.
Oh, wait,
That was the wrong effort. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin. Neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up.
So she came down, she filled the pitcher. She was fair to look upon. She was a virgin, meaning her in her youth, and no man had known her, meaning that she hadn't been dealt with. Notice I have both here. But go ahead.
And the servant ran to meet her and said, let me, I pray you, drink a little water of your pitcher. And she said, drink, my master. And she hasted and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink.
So she hasted means she quickly gave him something to drink, right? Go ahead.
And when she had done giving him drink, she said, I will draw water for your camels also.
He was like, oh, shoot. She might be the one. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Until they have done drinking. And she hasted and emptied her pitcher into the trunk and ran again unto the well to draw water and drew for all his camels.
Okay, so he's thinking she might be the one. She gave me some water, she gave the camel some water, and not only did she do it, say she hasted, it means she did it fast. Right. Like, hold on, I got you. Don't even worry about it. You have a little drink. Let me go ahead and get your camel some water. Let me get y'all together. Let's see what Eleazar was thinking in verse 21.
Verse 21. And the man wondering at her held his peace, to wit whether Yahuwah had made his journey prosperous or not.
So he still thought about it like, yeah, she did what I asked for, but I don't know if she the one. Keep going.
And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, that the man took a golden earring of half a shekel weight and 2 bracelets for her hands of 10 shekels weight of gold, and said, whose daughter are you? Tell me, I pray you, is there room in your father's house for us to lodge in? And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, which she bare unto Nahor. And she said moreover unto him, we have both strong and provender enough, and room to lodge in.
Okay, so even after the prayer was answered, she was what he prayed for, right? He still said he thought about it. He still didn't know. So even after you pray, this is a principle right here. Even after you pray, go to let's go to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be you therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
So have wisdom, but don't hurt nobody. Right? Be wise as sheep. Be wise, as serpents, but harmless as doves, right? So I mean we gotta have wisdom in all of our actions. Just because you pray for something and something happened, it don't necessarily mean it's the something that you pray for. Right? And we're gonna see this. 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1.
First John chapter 4 and verse 1. Beloved, believe not every ruach.
Believe not in every ruach, but do what?
But try the ruach.
What does that mean, try it? Test it, right? Go ahead.
Believe not every ruach, but try the ruach, whether they are of Elohim. Because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
That's good. Proverbs 14 and 15. So it's telling us, even after something happened, don't just believe everything, but try it and test it to see is it of the Most High. Like I said, this is not a man-wife type of thing, even though it applies. But what you got to understand are the principles behind it. That even after you pray for something, even after something is given, don't necessarily mean that it's what you're supposed to have. So you have to test it to see that it is of the Most High. Read.
The simple believe every word, but the prudent man,
what?
The prudent man looketh well to his going.
Looketh well to his going. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21. We all know this one.
1 Thessalonians.
As Israelites, this is Israelite 101. If you come with something new, you got to do what? Read.
1 Thessalonians 5 and 21. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good.
Okay, so we got to prove all things, right? So what we understand that prove all things to mean is what? Precepts, right? You said something. Now use the scripture to prove it to me. What if I told you that that is not what this means? Not at all.
Uh-oh. You have to prove that.
I'm so glad you asked. That word prove, G1381, it means to test. Test all things and keep that which is good. So it don't mean to prove like you said this, prove it to me. It means to, like that the Most High is going to prove us. He going to test us. It means to test something. So if the same way, now like I said, the same way that the servant you saw, even when he felt like his prayers was answered, he still didn't go all in. He had to ponder on it. He had to test her. He had to test her even further than what he already had said is set up in his head. So you have to test all things and hold fast to that which is good. Let's go back to Genesis 24 and 26. See, that's what just this. Every time I come across something like that, I'll be like, man, that's the same old stuff that we used to hold on to. Don't be mean. Be mad. You make me mad a little bit. I'm about to toss this away. Genesis 24, verse 26.
Bereshit, or Genesis chapter 24, verse 26. And the man bowed down his head and worshiped Yahuwah. And he said, increase be Yahuwah of my master Abraham, who have not left destitute my master of his mercy, and his truth. I being in the way, Yahuwah led me to the house of my master's brethren.
That's good. So he said that the Most High led him to the house of his master's brethren. So this is what specifically what Abraham required his servant to do. Go find somebody from my home, right? For my son, right? So when he got there, he said, Most High, I needed to be a woman that when she come and draw the picture, that she give me something to drink and give him a camel something to drink. So then that's what happened, right? And his prayer was answered. But he said, I ain't really sure. Let me test it to make sure that this is the one. Is there room in your father's house for us to lodge? Who's your? Well, I'm the daughter of Nahor and Milcah. Is room, and we got hay for your camels, and we got y'all. Come on through. And this is the next step. He said that this man said in verse 26, he said, the man bowed his head and he worshiped the Most High because he knew that his prayers have been answered, right? So as a servant, there's certain steps that you go through. We've been charged. We all been charged. We all been called as servants of the Most High. First things first is when we get to where we're supposed to get to, is say that you need to pray. Like Eleazar prayed. It's very specific. And once you feel like your prayer has been answered, you need to test it to make sure that it's of the Most High. And once you're certain that this is what the Most High have given me, because it's what I prayed for, then you need to worship. You need to thank the Most High. Grab 1 Chronicles 16 and 34. First Chronicles 16 and 34.
First Chronicles chapter 16.
You grab Psalms 106 and verse 1.
And verse 34. Oh, give thanks unto our Yah, for he is good, for his mercy endured forever.
Read that. Psalms 107 and verse 1.
Psalms 106 and verse 1. Praise ye Yahuwah. Oh, give thanks unto Yahuwah, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever.
Psalms 118 and 1. Read that.
Give thanks. Oh, give thanks unto Yahuwah, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever.
Psalms 118 and verse 1. Psalms 118 and verse 29.
Psalms 118 and verse 1. Oh, give thanks unto Yahuwah, for he is good, because his mercy endureth forever.
Psalms 118 and 129.
Oh, give thanks
Psalms 136.
unto Yahuwah, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever.
Psalms 136 and verse 1. Oh, give thanks unto Yahuwah, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever.
Y'all see the resounding theme of all of these scriptures that we just read. Once the Most High have granted you the petition of your prayer, and you know for sure that it's answered your prayer because you've tested it out. Oh, give thanks unto the Most High, for he is good, and his mercy endure forever. Right? You got to make sure you give the Most High his reverence, give him his thanks, give him his worship. Plain and simple. Like I said, a lot of times dealing with this walk, man, we get so caught up in the debates and caught up in the doctrine and caught up in the nonsense that we forget that this thing is actually about the Most High. And he is the one who needs to be thanked. He is the one who needs to be praised. He is the one who needs to be worshipped every day. Every day. Knowing, like it's saying that one of those first verses we read, but it says, considering the things that he has done for you. So understanding that he had already purposed you, he had already given you something, he already set you apart in the first place. And he got a particular job for you. He done laid out the minimum requirements, what we read, right, in Deuteronomy 30, of keeping the law, fearing him. But it says serving him with all your soul. So that service is what we got to look for and look to do next. We got to perform it, right? Let's go back to Genesis 24 and verse 28.
Bereshit, chapter 24, At verse 28. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man unto the well. And it came to pass, when he saw the earring and the bracelet upon his sister's hand, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, Thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels at the well. And he said, Come in, you increase of your whore. Wherefore stand you without? For I have prepared the house and room for your camels.
My father's house, I'll go there.
And the man came into the house, and he ungirded his camels, and gave straw and provender for the camels, and water to wash his feet, and the men's feet that were with him. And there was set meat.
And he did what? Verse 32.
And the man came into the house, and he ungirded his camels, and gave straw and provender for the camels, and water to wash his feet, and the men's feet that were with him.
Y'all, okay, keep going. Y'all, I don't know if y'all catch it. Go ahead. Verse 33.
And there was set meat before him to eat. But he said, I will not eat until I have told mine errand. And he said, Speak on.
Okay, so Rebekah went to her mother's house. Let her brother know. Dude at the well hooked me up. Look at these bracelets and earrings. Like he needs some place to lodge for the night. So Laban ran out to him. Like, why you standing outside? Come on in, homeboy. Like, here, we got some hay, we got some, for the camels. And then he set before him a meal. And the servant told him, I can't eat until I let you know why I'm here. Until I let you know my purpose. I can't even carry on with what I'm doing for me until I let you know why I was sent here.
Go ahead.
In the first place. So, 1 Samuel 21:8. First Samuel chapter 21 and verse 8.
1 Samuel chapter 21 and verse 8. And David said unto Ahimelech, Is there not here under your hand spear or sword? For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapons with me.
That's good right there. So at this point in time, just to give you a little bit, they had David was standing there with Ahimelech, and my man had his sword and his spear, his sword and his shield, spear. And David said, For I have neither brought sword nor spear nor weapons with me, because what?
The king's business required haste.
Because the king's business requires haste. It means don't procrastinate. We here to be about the business of the Most High. You know you got a purpose. Get up off your behind and do it. The king's business requires haste. Don't just sit there when you know you got something to do. It's been a long time already. Some of us been in this walk 7, 8, 9, 10 years and still sitting there. Time out for that. It's time to work. It's past time. The king's business requires haste. Move. Get up. Do something. Period. Point blank, period. It ain't nothing else to it. It ain't nothing else to it. Ain't nothing stopping you from doing it but yourself. Get up and do it. Joshua 24 and 15.
Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahuwah, choose you this day who you will serve.
Choose when?
Today.
Choose you this day who you gonna serve. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait. Now I might serve the Most High. He seemed cool. Don't wait for nothing. If it seems evil to you to serve the Most High, choose you this day who you gonna serve. Read.
Whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house,
What?
we will serve Yahuwah.
We gonna serve Yah. Point blank. Period. Psalms 119:6.
Psalm 119, verse 60. I made haste and delayed not to keep your commandments.
I made haste and delayed not. When I learned of your truth, I didn't wait. I made haste and delayed not to keep your commandments. Proverbs 27:1.
Proverbs chapter 27 at verse 1. Boast not yourself of tomorrow, for you know not what a day may bring forth.
So why wait? Don't even sweat tomorrow because you don't know what's going to happen today. The scriptures is very clear on that. So when the servant got to the table and his food was there, and he's like, I can't eat. I'm here for a reason. And I can't do nothing until I let you know why I'm here. Until I complete my task. Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 10.
Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Whatsoever your hand finds to do, do it with your might.
No, so, whatsoever your purpose is, do it with all your might. Go ahead.
For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave where you go.
Because once you die, it's a wrap. Ain't no wisdom, ain't no knowledge, ain't no device, ain't no work. So whatever it is that you got to do, whatever it is that you purpose for, don't play around with it. Don't do it with all your might. Do it with all your might. Don't wait. Do it in haste and do it with everything you got in you. Don't half step. If you got a purpose, don't half step. The Most High done deemed you. He called you first, and then he purposed you for a reason. Ain't no sense in half stepping. Ain't no sense in pump faking. Ain't no sense in not going all the way and doing it all. You know what I'm saying? Is it because once you go to the grave, it's a wrap. Ain't nothing there for you. Ain't no might, ain't no knowledge, ain't no device. There's no work in the grave. So while you walking on these 2 feet on this earth, you better give it your all. Give it to it for him. Genesis 24 and verse 34.
Genesis chapter 24 at verse 34. And he said, I am Abraham's servant, and Yahuwah hath increased my master greatly, and he is become great. And he hath given him flocks and herds and silver and gold and men servants and maid servants and camels and donkeys. And Sarah, my master's wife, bare a son to my master when she was old. And unto him hath he given all that he had.
And unto him hath he given all that he had. Unto my master's son, he gave him all that he had, right? But this is who my master is. So notice, once he asked him what his purpose is, what the first thing did he say? Did he say, I'm Eleazar, the son of such and such, or this and that? What was the first thing that he said? Read verse 34 again.
Verse 34.
What did he start talking about?
And he said, I am Abraham's servant.
Did he? You don't even, if we hadn't went to hit that Genesis 15 first, you wouldn't even know this dude's name. He never even acknowledged himself. The first thing he said is, I'm Abraham's servant. And y'all have increased my master. He is great. He got this, and he got that, and he got this, and he got that, and he got this, and he got that, and he got a son. And his son got all that too, because he gave it to him. So when you get into the place that you know you're supposed to be, to serve, the first thing you need to do once you serve in your purpose, once you answer in your call, is give who the esteem. Period. Because everything you got because he gave it to you. He is great and he is worthy to be praised because his mercy endure forever. Right? Verse 37.
Verse 37. And my master made me swear, saying, you shall not take a wife to my son of the daughters of the Canaanites in whose land I dwell, but you shall go unto my father's house and to my kindred and take a wife unto my son. And I said unto my master, perhaps the woman will not follow me. And he said unto me, Yahuwah, before whom I walk, will send his Malachim with you and prosper in your way. And you shall take a wife for my son of my kindred and of my father's house. Then shall you be cleared from this my oath. When you come to my kindred, and if they give not you one, you shall be cleared from my oath. And I came this day unto the well, and said, O Yahuwah of my master Abraham, if now you do prosper my way which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water. And it shall come to pass that when the virgin come forth to draw water, and I say to her, give me, I pray you, a little water of my pitcher to drink. And she say to me, both drink you, and I will also draw for your camels. Let the same be the woman whom Yahuwah have appointed out for my master's son.
Verse 48.
Verse 48. And I bowed down my head and worshiped Yahuwah, and increased Yahuwah Elohim of my master Abraham, which had led me in the right way to take my master's brother's daughter unto his son.
To take my master. So it was very specific. Abraham told him where to go, who to get, and now at this point you got to understand, Abraham had been out of his homeland for quite a while. He was old and stricken with age. He was already old before Isaac was born. So after Isaac was born and was a man, he was really old. And he told him specifically where to go and what to get. And once he got there, he was there, and she was there, one of his father's house. So the servant did exactly what Abraham asked. He didn't say, Abraham don't really know. He's kind of old. He don't know what Isaac really like. Maybe he can, if them Canaanite daughters is kind of straight. He won't know if I brought her back from Canaan or not. No, he was obedient and did exactly what the master told him. He didn't stray. He didn't go his own way. He didn't put his own thought into it. He did exactly what he was told. He was obedient. He was dependable. And that's why Abraham chose him in the first place. Because of the qualities that he showed. Understanding us as servants of the Most High, as servants of Mashiach, we have to be this way. Obedient and dependable in all things. Like he said, if you be faithful over a few things, I'm going to make you steward over many things, right? Let's grab, you know what? Let's grab Matthew 24 and 44. 24 and 44.
Matthew or Matthew chapter 24 at verse 44. Therefore, be you also ready, for in so much an hour as you think not, the Son of Man comes. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his master hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Increased is that servant, whom his master, when he come, shall find so doing. Truly I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods.
Over all his goods. So this same thing, like I said, this now we dealing with Hamashiach, and he let you know, even based on way back then, he said this truly this good and faithful servant, because he's faithful to a wise servant, whom his master hath made ruler over all his house, to give him meat in due season, right? Verse 47, truly I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. John 13 and 14.
John, or Yehukanan, chapter 13 and verse 14. If I then, your master, if I then, Mashiach and master, have washed your
Take your
feet,
time.
you also ought to wash one another's feet.
Read it again.
If then I, Mashiach and master, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet.
Mm-hmm.
For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you. Truly, truly, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his master, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this. Who is the servant? Who's the servant in this room?
Who is the servant?
Who is the servant? Who's the master? A Mashiach, right? Who ready to wash your feet? Okay, everybody gets to turn their lips up like, I ain't washing no feet.
Well,
But-
we do want to say we got the buckets in the back. We're gonna bring out. We'll see if y'all really about that.
But no, what he's saying here is, I'm the master, and I'll wash your feet. So y'all ought to be able to wash each other's feet, because I'm greater than y'all. Y'all ain't gonna tell me y'all ain't gonna wash each other's feet, and y'all, so that means y'all better than me. I wash your feet. You better than me? He basically putting them in their place. Like, what you gonna say? You too good to wash Peter's feet? I just wash your feet, and I'm the master. So you can't be no better than me. So it was an act and a sign of humility on the part of the Mashiach. That's straight humility. I'm not just your master. I'm the master of masters. Show enough. Right? Of course wives gotta wash their own. Oh man, he trying to open up a can of worms. You watch me? That's what I'm talking about.
See, that's a good system right there. Y'all need to listen to this.
Let's go ahead and finish this off. Let's go to Matthew 25:14. Hey, it's a process. It's a process.
25:14. 25:14. Matthew chapter 25 and verse 14. For the kingdom of Shamayim is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods.
Who did what?
Who delivered unto them his goods.
Uh-huh.
And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to every man according to his several ability. And straightway took his journey.
Okay, so we all familiar with this story? Yeah? Read that verse again.
And one he gave, you want me to start at verse 14?
Verse 15.
15. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability.
Read that part right there, very slow.
To every man according to his several ability.
And straightway took his journey. But he gave to each person according to their ability. Everybody does not have the same ability. Like I said, when you read that, when we read that part, what do Yah require of us? But to love him and keep his commandments, right? Those are the minimum requirements. Now, there's some in here that's able to do things that others can't. Especially when you're talking about the ministry. But, not only when you're talking about the ministry, but some, even in life. It's some people who are better cooks than others. It's some people in here who are better counselors than others. It's some people who are in here who just have different abilities. It don't mean that your ability is any less important. It just means it's different. Because the body have many members. We got to understand that. But it don't mean, matter of fact, we'll get to that part. Keep reading.
Verse 16. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that received 2, he also gained another 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came and reckoned with him.
Okay, so he who only had 1, like I said, it's not about being any less important. It's just different. At this point in time, you see somebody, they place a value on it. One had 4, one had 1, whatever, right? But it's different. So this talent is representative of you as a servant, meaning that your ability is to do this and not that. So even though you wasn't given a 5, and your ability only allows you to have 1, but because you feel it insufficient, you like, I'm not even going to do nothing with this 1 I got. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bury it. I'm going to act like it ain't even there. Whatever. I'm just going to hide it. It's nothing. No, it means that you are capable of doing something that is important and pertinent to the body of Hamashiach. Means that you need to be doing it because it's according to your ability. And everybody does not have the same ability. And I'll be the first person that tells you that when it comes to certain parts of these scriptures, even though I can sit up here and teach certain things, it's certain things that I'm not good at teaching. And I tell people that in a minute. Prophecy is not my scope. It's outside of my scope. I'm not good at prophecy. If you want to know something about prophecy, I'll let my right here because he's nice with it. So I know my abilities, but it's certain things that I am very capable of. So when it comes to certain other matters, I can handle it. And then I'm approached, but I can handle it, no problem. But I know my abilities, you know what I mean? But I don't limit myself. I know what I'm capable of, and I operate in that fashion to the best of my ability. So it's the same thing with each and every person that's in this room, each and every person that's watching this lesson, that's going to ever watch this lesson. Like we started off saying, the scriptures say, let every man examine himself. Take that long look in the mirror. You know what you're capable of. You know what you're not able to do. You need to be able to examine that. You need to be able to put your abilities into action as it pertains to the body of the Most High. And get off your hump. Stop sitting there doing nothing. Period. That's what it is. You know, I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Please let me sit this down for a second. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. It's a lot of people that's even in this room that may not be in this room, but it's people that get sick of having to do the same stuff all the time. And you got other people that's sitting there doing nothing. Can I be real with y'all? We family, right? I'm going to keep it real. It's people in this room, and it's people that's a part of the assembly that's tired of doing stuff when you got some people that's sitting around doing nothing. And that ain't to point the finger at nobody. That's for you to point the finger at yourself. Like I said, when I was at this funeral, and they had so many good things to say about this woman, I mean, from top to bottom. They say she never had a title. She never held a title in the church. Never, ever. They didn't call her the captain or nothing. She wasn't the head or nothing. But she tried to help out with everything. So you ain't always got to be, well, I ain't leading. Because some people like that. If they ain't leading, they don't want to be a part of it. We are all called to be servants. We need to serve, period. If I can help and I'm available, I'm going to help. Anybody in this room know if they need me, they can call me, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to do what I can do, period. And on top of that, if I'm not able to do it, I'm going to be real with you and tell you, I can't do that. I'm not able to do that. I ain't going to act like I'm going to do it. I ain't going to call you at the last minute like, oh, y'all still doing it? I'm on my way. Oh, dang, y'all just finished. I was just about to help. I ain't going to front. I'm going to tell you, no, I can't do it. I can't be there. I'm going to keep it real. And that's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't saying be like me. I'm saying be like Mashiach. I'm only trying to be like that because that's what I get when I read the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? I want to be helpful. I want to be, you know what I mean? It'd have been easy to when my man walked in here drooling and say, hey, blood, go ahead and out there with all that. And send him right back out on the street. Right? But we call him to help. You never know. You never know what that situation is. What kind of test that was. What kind of trial that was to prove us as people as of the Most High. This dude walking the street, I don't walk off on the street, I don't know if he's intoxicated, if he over-medicated, under-medicated, or if he just high. But something wrong with him. And we got to do something. Right? That's what a true servant is, because the Hamashiach say, if we done did it to anybody, we done did it for him. Right? Pick back up where you left off. Let's finish this. Sit down. Just sit down. We're getting something further.
Verse 20. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Master, you deliver unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His master said unto him, well done, you good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter you into the joy of your masters.
Go ahead.
He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Master, you delivered unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His master said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter you into the joy of your master. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Master, I knew that you are a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not struck. And I was scared, and went and hid your talent in the earth. Lo, there you have, that's yours. And his master answered and said unto him, you wicked and lazy servant. You knew that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not straw. You ought therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he had. And cast you the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
That's good. So we see here this parable that Hamashiach is giving. And with these talents or whatever. I'm not sure what that talent is. And let me look that up real quick. But let me look that up real quick. So that talent, the scale of a balance, a pair of scales, that which is weighed, a talent, a weight varying in different places, a sum of money. So the talent is money. I didn't know. So the guy who only had 1, he's like, Master, I know how you are. You a hard man. You don't play no games. And I was scared that if you came back and I didn't have nothing to offer you, that you was going to do something to me. So here go the 1 that you gave me. So you telling me the Most High, in His infinite wisdom, that endowed each and every, I'm telling you, each and every one of us have a different fingerprint, right? Of all the people on the face of the earth got a different fingerprint. You telling me that He didn't endow each and every one of us with a different ability to be able to perform different things, right? We all different. Nobody, it's not two people in this room that's exactly alike. It's not two people in this room that have the same capabilities or the same abilities. Period. Everybody in here is different. That means that whatever you have to offer is required. Whatever you have to offer is required. Whatever I have to offer is required. You, and everybody else in this room, everything that you have to offer, whatever you have to bring it to the table, even if it's one, it's enough because it's required. No matter what it is, no matter what amount, it's saying that the master, when he left, he gave every man according to his ability. So he knew my man, who he gave 5 to, had the ability to flip it into 10. And he knew the one who he gave, 3 to? 2 had the ability to flip it. And he knew the one who he gave 1 to didn't have much ability. That's why he only gave him 1. That's why if he'd have messed it up, no big deal, at least you tried. But you just sat there and did nothing with your lazy behind. Get up and do something, because I done gave you something to work with. If you got the activity of your limbs and all you can do is wipe a table clean, you need to be in this boy cleaning up, period. It don't even matter. Somebody got to do something. And if you feel like that, I can't really do nothing. I can't teach. I can't do this. You can do something. And your ability is needed because it's a lot of work to do out here. Every football team got a water boy. He ain't capable of throwing a touchdown. He ain't capable of catching a pass. He ain't capable of making a tackle. But he can show serve us some cold water. And it's needed. Would nobody be on the field if that joker wasn't filling them water buckets? You follow what I'm saying? So it's everybody's ability is needed, regardless of how minute you might feel yours is. And then it's not to say that if you have more ability than the next person, that you have to have an arrogant mindset. Understand that the master of them all is the biggest servant in the house. Period. You got to be the one to serve more. Following the example of Hamashiach, he told you flat out, I left you an example. I wash feet, y'all wash some feet. I left you an example. I'm the biggest servant out of each and every one of y'all, right? Well, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Yeah, anybody have any questions or comments or anything? None? Y'all feel me? Nobody take it personal, does it? Yeah.
Shit. It's funny, we was talking about the body last week for everybody that was here. All right? So, like hand in hand, right? So that's crazy. Doc wasn't even here. We ain't even talk about it or nothing. We talked about everybody doing their part. Everybody playing their role. Everybody got a job to do. So this week he just said, all right, now you know. Go ahead and do it. So that's confirmation, right? You know what you got to do. Time to go ahead and do it.
I didn't see the lesson.
What is it? What you do? On the body, talking about the member. Everybody get a job to do.
Look at the Most High. Look at the Most High. Working in this way. Working in this way.
Got 2 for 2.
So, with that being said, we got a gathering coming up in just a couple months. If you ain't doing no work, you may be called upon to do some work. There are 9 of us that are governing the days of the gathering, and you may be called upon to help out a little bit. If you are able and willing, please, by all means, feel free to join in. Even if you serve water.
August 18th.
August the 18th to the 20th.
Be there.
Here in Detroit, Michigan.
Like I said last week, man, even if you got the person to bring the napkins, what happens when you eating barbecue and you ain't got nothing to wipe your hands with?
Wipe it on your shirt.
You know what I'm saying? Like the person with the napkins is needed to be there. You know what I'm saying? So the smallest to the greatest duty, man. Everybody had your business.
Usher in the Ruach, man. Step through the door, you see this?
I didn't get that on camera. Though. We gotta get that on camera.
Yes, all right. We all good? Let's go ahead and pray out. I ain't gonna pray.
Heat on.
I didn't hit that. No. I didn't even think about that. You hit that one? Oh, yeah. It's a lot of things he did, bro. Right there. That's what you notice that whole chapter, name and everything, right? The whole chapter wasn't about him. Exactly. Right. Father, y'all, once again, we come before you, Father, asking that you would open up our hearts and our minds, Father, that you would allow, Father, your word to resonate in our ruach, Father, that you would allow us, that you would guide us, Father, that you would lead us, Father, into all understanding, Father. If we may not know what our purpose is, Father, what our calling is, Father, what you have called us to do or to be, Father, we pray that, Father, that we would seek you, Father, that we would ask of you, because your word says that we have not because we ask not, Father. We pray that right now, Father, that you would just enlighten each and every one of us, Father, impart wisdom upon each and every one of us, Father. Allow us to understand what our purpose is, Father, how we should move, Father, and what we should do, Father, how we could increase your kingdom through our works and through our actions, Father. Father, we pray, Father, that from this day forward, Father, that we will walk in that understanding, Father, that we continue, Father, to be a light unto this world, Father, that we would understand that keeping your laws, the minimum requirements, Father, that we would do those things, Father. We will be obedient unto you each and every day, Father, along with letting everybody know, being boastful of you, Father, letting everyone know your goodness and your mercy because you are worthy. And all these things, Father, we pray and we give thanks. So be it. Avinu Shabbat Shemayim, Ikados, Shenka, Tabo, Bakutka, Yease, Rasamka, Barik, Kashir, Nasha, Bashamayim, Lanu, Mayon, the King, Kikan, Uzlak, Lanu, Ashmatenu, Kashir, Suki, Banaknu, Ashmu, Lanu, Wa'ah, Sabinu, the Masa, Ki, Hasulanu, Mi, Hara, Ki, Laka, Hamam Laka, Wahagibora, Wahatifare, Lome, Lami,
Hallelujah. All right, y'all. We got to sing our song at the end of that. Come on, Elder Mark. Little P&R before we close. You want some? Oh, yeah. I'm coming back.
song we sang last week, we're gonna try it again since we got a feel for it now, all right? Everybody remember deserve it? Travis is gonna sing the song in the beginning, so you know how it goes.
My hallelujah.
Next time around.
My hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah belongs to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Now we're gonna do it tonight.
My hallelujah belongs to you.
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 You deserve it.
You deserve it.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
You deserve it. You deserve it. All of the glory belongs to you.
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 You deserve it.
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 You deserve
now, sing it.
My hallelujah belongs to you.
Sing it again, Travis. Like a man.
My hallelujah belongs to you.
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 You're going to say this. Oh, oh,
Oh, oh,
oh, oh,
oh, oh,
oh, oh,
oh,
all right.